all these candidates that are actually running for office. So I'm not going to take up all y'all's time, but I'm going to let Lynn start this because this is Lynn's community watch for community crime group here at Stumphole. So we'll try to get this going so that it's not midnight this evening. All right? All right, Lynn.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thanks to everyone for coming out, taking the time to come to the meeting. And one reason we have a low turnout on community members is we had a long-time member of the community's mother passed away in visitation. We don't have a lot of residents out of the community at this meeting tonight. Usually we have a great crowd.
99-year-old.
She was 99.
One away from 100.
I just wanted to say that, and then I just want to echo that this is just a meet and greet. Please follow the rules. If anyone would like to talk to or ask questions to a candidate, please wait until after everybody has spoken. You know, don't raise your hand and want to ask a question while the candidates are speaking, if you would. And be respectful when someone was talking. Let's not have a whole bunch of little side conversations going on at times. All right. What we'll do is we're just going to start out with Senate District 36. First up is Eliza Carter.
That'll be me. That's you?
You got it.
All right.
First one.
All right.
Oh, we're going in alphabetical order, so that's why. I just wanted to make sure everybody.
All right, 2 to 3 minutes. Let me see if I can tell you about myself.
Mr. Carter, can you talk louder? Kind of get in the middle right there.
Everybody here, everybody else can
All right.
Yeah.
Very
Thank
good.
you, sir.
Let's start
Sorry
the
we
time.
didn't have a mic.
All right, very good. 2 to 3 minutes. All right, I want to tell you a little bit about myself, and then I'll get to the office that I'm running for. My name is Eliezer Carter, Eliezer Robert Carter. It's a biblical name. Most of my friends call me Lisa Carter. I grew up being called Lisa Carter in Summerton, South Carolina, across the border over there of Clarendon County. I'm a graduate of Scotch Branch High School, went to school, undergraduate school in Orangeburg, attended law school at Georgetown University, and graduated from the University of South Carolina Law School. I've been practicing law going on 36 years, going on 37 years actually, and I represent all different areas of the law, but presently I do a lot of municipal government and school law and county law. I represent towns. I've got quite a bit of clients from local towns. I ended up doing a lot of their ordinance drafting, preparation of their laws and regulations for their towns and their communities and our school districts. As I indicated, I've done that for a lot of years. I've decided to run for Senate because well, there's a lot of reasons I've decided to run for Senate. One of the reasons that got me really interested is as I watched my parents, my father age. My mother passed quite a few years back. But as I watched my father age, I noticed that he always wanted to be independent. He tries to do everything on his own, but I realized that as he starts hitting 85, 86, he's been slowing down. And I realized that there's a lot of benefits that can benefit senior citizens, and I know that there's a lot that can be done in terms of receiving state funds to do things for elderly citizens, not just my father, but there's a lot of things that needs to be done and that can be done. I'm very much concerned about our education system here in this state. I'm very concerned about teachers' pay. I'm very concerned about crime in the community. One of the things at practicing law, I was an assistant solicitor, so I've done quite a bit of prosecution. I'm aware of crimes. I'm aware of the need to have crimes addressed and to address it either both by incarceration when people commit serious crimes and by alternative ways to try to put aside incarcerating people such that we're spending so much of the state's money on that process, but looking for alternative means. I do believe that there are people who needs to be in prisons and people who needs the serious punishment from time to time. So I would appreciate it if you would give me your consideration. I'd love to have your vote. And I am a Democratic candidate for Senate. Thank you very much for your time.
All right.
And this is my opponent.
Okay, the incumbent is Kevin Johnson. Is he here?
No, I don't think he's, I
Not
don't think
yet.
they've adjourned from the
Yeah.
Columbia.
Wasn't sure if he was making it or not, but I still want to read everybody's name. All right, next up is Leon Wynn.
That's me.
All right.
That's your opponent.
Good afternoon. My name is Leon Wynn. My resume is very extensive, so I had to jot some notes because I don't want to forget anything. This is my lovely wife, Christine, who is with me on this journey. She's been with me every step of the way. I am a black blood born again Baptist preacher. I've been pastoring almost 40 years. I've been at the church that I'm pastoring now right at 27 years. I am a graduate of Morris College, Overcoming School of Religion, where I have a doctorate divinity degree. I'm also a former police officer, graduate South Carolina Criminal Justice Academy. I'm on South Carolina State Human Affairs Commission. I've been at this should be my fourth hit. Now somebody said, Leon, why do you keep running? This was a position you got to build. It was gerrymandered that no Republican can win this seat. That's the way it is. When nobody wanted to take on the challenge, Leon Wynn did. I've never lost to the point that it was embarrassing or humiliating. Every time I ran, I built more momentum. And now is the time that we can make it happen. I'm a Republican. Not that you notice that I'm black, but I'm a Republican. That's not the norm in this area. Somebody say amen. I need a little bit of feedback. We can make it happen. Lady just asked me about the senior citizen. I'm a senior citizen. I didn't know how that happened. I woke up one morning and I found out I was old. And I'm going to tell you, I haven't embraced it too well because my right shoulder was hurting, it shifted to the left shoulder. Things that happened. I was raised by my grandmother. The heart of a society is how you treat your old and your young. We are losing that in America. A senior citizen should not have the word between medicine and food. Please don't misunderstand me. With all that's going on in America, and y'all can really attest to this fact. Every day, every time you look at the news, things are changing. And we're getting deeper and deeper in world problems. I believe that we ought to help Ukraine. I believe we ought to help Israel. We are helping everybody. We are spending money. But in America, you still got homeless people. In America, you still got senior citizens that need things. We are helping everybody, but we're not doing enough for our own country and our own children. We need to get rid of all this crime. We live in something. Something now is known as Merck City, a small town now known as Merck City. There's someone being killed in the communities every week. We have to stop. I was talking with this gentleman, this young lady a few seconds ago. The problem that our society has is the young people, but the reality, can y'all handle truth? Can you really handle truth? It is us. What our parents taught us, we cut it off. We didn't pass it on to our children. The thing that we didn't pass, say again, one more second. Things we didn't pass on our children is something that's called moral value. We need to bring moral values back into our community, back into our houses, and back into the school system. God bless you. This is one of my opponents. And not only is he my opponent, can I tell you the truth? He's my friend. I'm a preacher. I can keep going.
I think everybody was 3 minutes.
I was about to get a little hoop in there.
Everybody get on the roll.
That's right.
All right, see. And all right, next up is Jeffrey Zell. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong.
That's okay. So, good to go?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me. Thank you for inviting me. My name is Jeff Zell. I'm a retired Master Sergeant after 20 years in the Air Force. Retired out of Shaw Air Force Base in Sumter. A week later, after I retired, I ran for public office in the school board, and I won. And I actually beat a retired senator in the name of Phil Aventis by 20 percentage points in a runoff. And so I know what it takes to win. I was the underdog. I should have never won, but I flipped the script. What I want to focus much on is transparency and accountability. We have. I got to be honest. I grew up in Ohio. Spent 20 years in the Air Force around, and what I found is in these rural communities we have great people. We also have a lot of corruption in local government, and there are multiple sides of elected office, particularly at that level. You have your state level policies, laws, things like that. But then you have your constituency services and your local influence and leveraging. What we've seen in particularly Clarendon County, there's a lot of corruption in Clarendon County government. We don't have that necessarily in Sumter, and that's just the way it is. So every corner of this district has its own needs. Like Pastor Wynn said, we had 20 murders on the books in Sumter with pending investigations, which will likely rise. Orangeburg has the second highest murder rate in the state at 3. There's almost 4 people murdered per 100,000. That rivals Baltimore, right? So we are in a precarious position. Largely where that comes from, and speaking about education, we have real problems in education. I see it firsthand. I've been on the school board for a year and a half. We are dumbing down our children. So through our transparency and accountability, that aspect, we have grading policies that won't fairly and accurately tell us what children's proficiency and mastery is. But yet they're failing at 90% clips in state testing. We've got to do better. When I win the Senate seat, one of the first bills I file will be grading policies to ensure that we're grading accurately in our public schools, so we actually understand the value of the tax dollar. Are we getting a return on it? Right now, I'm telling you we are not. Anybody can, I think, can understand that. We have, I want to disincentivize fatherlessness. We have a welfare system that does that. It incentivizes fatherlessness. It's just the way it is. Unfortunately, we have an education system that keeps good people from a real education and then locks them into poverty, locks them into welfare. That's not helping the community. That's keeping them down. And when I get to the Senate, that's one of the first things that I'm going to start attacking is how do we focus on welfare reform, get people off the dole responsibly, and get them off the dole responsibly so that we can lift them up, not a hand out, a hand up. And that's where we're at. We have communities in this district that have been suffering for decades, for generations. And I think it's high time we actually focus on those people, do the right thing by them, hold hold our elected officials accountable. And so I'm just talking about that. If you're looking for a reformer in this 36th Senate district, you're looking at him. I appreciate your vote. Thank you.
All right, for House of Representatives, District 93, Johnny Felder,
He couldn't make it. He had another engagement and wasn't able to make it.
all right, Harold Getty.
Hello everyone, I am Harold Gettings. I am the Workers' Party candidate for House 93. And I don't look like your typical political candidate. There's a reason for that. I'm not a lawyer or a businessman. Up until recently, I was a proud union sheet metal worker. I had to leave that for medical reasons, and now I'm working as a Uber Eats delivery driver. But I am looking for other employment, so if anybody in this room is hiring, let me know afterwards. I'll get you a copy of my resume. But I'm here because my generation is angry, and I'd say we have every reason to be. because we are on track, us and the generations that are following us, to be the first ones in American history quantifiably worse off than the ones that preceded us. And we have been crying out for relief for years. From our failing schools, from our stagnant wages, from our lack of health care access and our out-of-control housing market, for our crumbling infrastructure. And yet, consistently, both of the major parties are telling us to sit down, shut up, and wait our turn. Well, I'm sorry, we're done with that. Now is not the time for symbolic half measures and meaningless gestures. We're done with politics as usual. We're done playing nice. Well, we do have a platform. 3 minutes is nowhere near enough time to get into it. I'm sorry. But I wish I had something to give you all out. But ever since I even floated the idea to run, people have been asking me, why run third party? They never win anything. Well, thing is, interesting little phenomenon. I was a political science major in college and a history minor, and this has always fascinated me. That every major societal change in the last 150 years, from the abolition of slavery to the implementation of the 8-hour workday, came about initially because some third party jumped up and said, hey, this is a great idea, and then made enough noise about it that one of the two major parties finally had to co-opt it and adapt it. And so, we are the hipsters of the American political movement. We like ideas before they're cool. So, I thank you for your time and look forward to chatting with you all going forward. So, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Jerry Govan.
It's right there.
Standing
Right there.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jerry Govan, and I'm a former member of the South Carolina House of Representatives. And I proudly served and was elected and served by serving the people of Orangeburg County for 30 years in the South Carolina General Assembly. When I retired from the General Assembly, I was the second ranking member of the House Education Committee, and served in several other key capacities in that body. I had the privilege of serving in an area called House District 95, which was primarily the urban portion of Orangeburg. We all represented the same amount of individuals. But in this situation, I retired from the South Carolina House in 2022 because of something called gerrymandering. They basically redrew the lines, and what they did in Columbia was that they violated the Voting Rights Act, and they basically cracked Orangeburg into multiple pieces. And as a result of that, they pitted Russell out and I against each other. And so I took the high road and decided to retire because I believed that we needed to move forward with transitional leadership. When Russell decided to run for the Senate, then I was contacted by good friends out of Calhoun County, and thus I became a candidate after talking over with my wife and children. The better half, of course, the boss in the house. I'm running because I think that we are at a critical stage in our state, ladies and gentlemen. And I just want to talk a little bit about this area as an example of that. Because right now, you're being pressed to the gill in terms of having to make difficult decisions. Those decisions involve something called growth. In Orangeburg County, along with Calhoun County, and we see what's going on in the Sandy Run area, and those of you now who are being faced with the decision of overgrowth, potential overgrowth by 4,000 homes being planted right here in Ellery on the border here, it's going to completely impact your lives. And I stand here as the only candidate that's running that understands this, because I've been there and I understand it and I know what we're facing. The challenge we're facing is something called smart growth, and if we do not handle it properly on the state as well as the local level, then what's going to happen is going to impact your children and your children's children for years to come. And so that requires individuals who are serving you in these lines in these particular positions that not only understand, that possess the acumen, but also who are willing to listen with both ears in terms of how to address these problems. And I have the track record and the experience, and if you go to my website or look at the brochures, you'll see I'm the most experienced candidate in this race that has developed a reputation for being able to work across party lines, that have been able to work with different communities of people, regardless of what their walk of life is. I'm a retired educator, and I'm also a retired legislator, but I'm also a minister. I understand some of the key family issues that are involved. My mother was 99 years old when she passed away, so I'm also very adept and understand the plight of senior citizens. So I look forward to talking with you. I hope we can have that discussion because it definitely needs to be had. Thank you so much.
Okay, next up is Krista Hassel.
Got it. Got it. Hey, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Kurt, wherever you are, for organizing this event. Stumphole Landing, for allowing us to infiltrate with the politics. And, of course, the Crime Watch, Stumphole Crime Watch. So, I'm Krista Hassel, and I'm not a politician. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I'm a Mimi. I'm a small business owner, I'm a realtor, and I am a fighter for faith, family, and freedom. I'm in this race because I am a committed advocate for the values and the principles that make our communities, our state, and our country strong. Here's my why. We're at a critical juncture in our state and our country. We're facing challenges that threaten our way of life and the future of our children. It's time for unwavering representation, rooted in integrity and conviction. I'm ready to take the charge to be the change we need and the voice you deserve in the State House. Here are my beliefs. Have you ever questioned why anyone would compromise their personal moral compass for political gain? I have. And the truth is that I refuse to sacrifice my principles for power. I believe in standing firm on the values that define effective representation. That is respect for life, fiscal responsibility, and safeguarding our constitutional rights. This is why I am committed to defending life at all stages, opposing excessive taxation, protecting our communities and the people who live here. As your representative, I will champion policies that uphold our conservative ideals. We must prioritize fiscal discipline to ensure a thriving community and economy for our future generations. I will fight to protect our God-given, unalienable constitutional freedoms. Transparency, accountability, honesty, and integrity are lacking in all levels of government, not with me. These are the fundamentals that you can count on. Your voice, your ideas, and your suggestions are at the forefront, always. After all, when I'm elected, I will work for you. I will be unbought and unbossed. In conclusion, I would like to ask for your support, your vote, but most importantly, your trust. Let's work together to build a brighter future, a future where our children can grow and flourish in a state that honors life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Thank you for allowing me to speak this evening. May God bless the United States of America, the great state of South Carolina, and the amazing people of District 93. Thank you.
I just thought I'd say
That's
that.
why I have the paper.
I done saw all that paper. I said, she'll never read that in 3 minutes. Chris Rowland.
Nice to meet you, Chris Rowland. Grew up in Swansea, which is not too terribly far away from here. The lady that owns this and I grew up as almost like first cousins. And so she's married to Tony Rucker, Lynn Rucker. She's still a great friend of mine. Never been a politician, been a registered engineer my whole life. That's what my career's been. And I think part of the problem with the State House, it's got too many attorneys, and I'm not talking bad about attorneys, but I think we can fix it. And let's just select an engineer to get up there and give me 2 years. We'll have it all straightened out. We got a plan, so, just kidding. I love my community. I love where I live. I grew up in Swansea, moved to Orangeburg, worked there for 7 years. Well, worked there for 18 years, lived there for 7 years. Moved to St. Matthews. We have a place on the lake. And if a man has 5 great friends, he is blessed beyond measure. Since I moved to St. Matthews, I have some of the most salt of the earth, most wonderful people that I've ever met. I love my community. I love serving. God has called me to serve. That's what I do. Things that I do in my time is we built with the local Baptist church. Y'all won't hold that against me. But we have built probably 26 ramps in the past 7 or 8 months. We don't ever do a whole lot about announcing it. We don't charge anybody. All that's taken care of. And that's what we do. We love doing what God wants us to do. When people call and ask me if I'd consider running for the House of Representatives because Russell was running for Senate, I said, no, y'all got to be crazy. I said, politics, I don't want to be a politician. But the more I think about it, our system is broken. We see we've had more people running in this particular election cycle than I ever can remember. I'm 57 years old. There's a reason why. You look at Trump, you look at Biden, everybody wants to fight. And we have gotten to where we're more hostile to everybody in our community instead of just loving each other and trying to understand. We're going to disagree on things. The hardest thing I think that I would have if I'm ever elected as House of Representative is to be able to say, we're going to disagree, but we need to do it in love. We need to figure out that, listen, there's going to be times, and I always do this with everything. I've been married for 30 years. My parents were never married to multiple spouses, and I'm not talking bad about my parents. It's just that, that's the way it was. And I asked people, I said, do you love your wife or you love your husband? They'll say, yes. I said, do you ever disagree with your spouse? And they say, absolutely. I said, that's the way it has to be. We have to do it out of love. We have to do it out of respect. But things I stand for. I want us to be fiscally responsible with our money. All 4 of my grandparents were brought up during the Great Depression. It's affected who I am. My daughter will testify that I'll drive her crazy a lot of times with the way I manage money. She was the next to the last person in her class to get a cell phone. And so I said, I was 27 when I got a cell phone. So I don't want to hear it. But anyway, I had my first grandbaby due July 9th, so she is carrying that. They won't tell us the name. They say it starts with a W, it's 8 letters. I said, do not call my child Worcestershire. But anyway, I want 10 seconds. I just want to make our community better, and I'm here to serve at your leisure. And if you have any of the issues, all you have to do is call me, and if I'm elected, I promise I'll do my best. Thank you very much.
Okay, now for Solicitor of First Judicial Circuit. Going to come up, David Pasco.
I don't believe he's here. I don't think he was able to make it. At least I haven't seen him come in.
And then also, who else is running in for that office is Austin Nichols. He was not here tonight.
He's not here either.
All right, Calhoun County Clerk of Court, Bob Rockingham.
Washington. He's not here.
Bob's not here either. I hadn't seen him.
Not here either.
Nope.
All right, then coming is Lakeisha Mulroy.
Good evening, how y'all doing? My name is Lakeisha Moore, and I am the current Calhoun County Clerk of Court. I have been Deputy Clerk of Court for 8 years under the advisement of Ken Hasty, who was our former Clerk of Court. He since retired, left me 1 year to serve under his belt. I was appointed by Governor Henry McMaster to fill out his last term. So here I am. So I am asking for your prayers, your support, your vote, because truly your vote is your voice, and I am asking for it. So please, when you go to the polls, vote for Calhoun County, Lakeisha Moore, Clerk of Court. Thank you.
Calhoun County Treasurer, the incompetent Alicia Scott.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alicia Scott. I'm the Deputy Treasurer, filling the Treasurer's role. I treasured passed away in office about a year ago. And one day, I can't make a bunch of promises. I mean, I was born and raised right here in St. Matthews. I promise that I will do everything I can to collect the taxes for the county, distribute the taxes. And that's pretty much about what my job is. I was, like I said, born and raised here in Calhoun County, grew up in St. Matthews, married a wonderful man from St. Matthews. But I am asking for everyone's support in November. We're not going to primary, but in November, and I would love to have your support. And I thank everyone.
One person that's running against her is Tammy Green, and she's unable to attend. Right now for Calhoun County District 1 County Council, the incompetent Richard Carson.
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
I'm Richard Carson, and I'm a lifelong resident of 90% of my life of Lone Star, South Carolina. The other 10% I got married and I moved to Ellery. Married, my wife took me to Ellery. I have 2 beautiful kids. One thing about me that I want you to know was I graduated from Clemson and I started work at Food Line Distribution Center in Ellery. I retired in 21 from Food Line. I was there for 33 years. And during my time at Food Line, I had to create my own P&L, my own budget, making sure everything, all the numbers matched up. I was director of operations. I was over the warehouse. Every Food Line truck you saw running up down the road, I was responsible for 20 years. During that time, I realized that me personally, I was ready to retire. We lost a great representative in Calhoun County, Mr. David Summers. When he passed away, some people came to me and asked me about running for office. I was not a politician. I was a business person. I stepped in, I ran for the office, and I won the office. I've been in the office for about 2.5 years. One of the things that I stand for is to keeping Calhoun County taxes as low as possible. I am a firm believer that we have to have a strong sheriff's department. They're struggling to hire good deputies because of all the competition, just like everybody else. I'm a firm believer of EMS being very strong as well, because we all need both of those. The other thing that I'm very strong for is our rural fire department. I'm over them, and I want to make sure that they're taken care of, because a lot of areas have gone down to the 4, which affects your insurance, your ISO rating, which affects your homeowner's insurance. So I'm a firm believer in making sure we do those. I'm also a firm believer in private property rights. I want to make sure everybody has the private property rights. At the same time, I'm not a fan for giving away everything in fee and lose for special projects. There's a lot of talk about fee and lose for projects and stuff along those lines. I'm not a fan for giving it away on special projects for fee and lose. Fees and lose have a place, but they don't have a place in certain projects. So I am Richard Carson. I'm running for Calhoun County District 1 on the Republican ticket. I appreciate your vote and support. Thank you.
All right, next is Felicia Ellis.
She's right there.
Here? Only they can fire over there. Tell me they can't hear over there. Good evening, my name is Felicia Ellis, and I am originally from Florida, born and raised in Jacksonville, Florida. I became familiar with Calhoun County, specifically the Fort Mott area, about 30 years ago when I met one of Fort Mott's finest. I'm not going to say that the initial meeting was the greatest with Calhoun County or with Fort Mott. I'm a city girl. I had to get used to the country. But he's retired. You can't hear me. after serving 25 years in Navy, he retired, and I think it was about 09. And around 2012, we bought what would be considered a vacation home in Fort Mott. Stanley's mother still lives in the Fort Mott area. He has a lot of sisters, so visiting was, kind of hectic. A lot of women in the same house. So we ended up with a vacation spot here in, there in Fort Mott. I worked for Landstar for about 19 and a half years before. People say retirement. People get checks for retirement. I'm not getting a retirement check. So I ended up resigning from my position there. I worked with qualifying drivers, the rules of service laws for them on the road. I ended up spending about 10 years, the last 10 years of my time there, in accounts receivables in a management position with that company. In any case, we moved here just before the pandemic. Mr. Ellis promised to build my dream home if I would move to the woods. He lived up to he lived up to his promise. Here I am. In 2022, thereabout, I started working for the Cameron Magistrate part-time, and I'm still doing that. I was asked to run for this office, and with every response that I gave, I was told that I was making excuses. So after talking to my husband, after praying about it, he said, you need to talk to your dad and see what he has to say. I agree. I feel like that there's a lack of transparency at this point when it comes to our county council. I am running for county council District 1. I think I missed that part to start with. But there's a lack of transparency. And with the lack of transparency, there's a lack of trust. And in speaking with people in the community, that's one of the things that they're complaining about. They just don't trust what's being done. They don't know what's being done. And we need to pull, the veil back so the people in the community that are paying their taxes have a say in what's going on. There was a thing something that I read that really stuck with me in some of the paperwork that I was going through. And it started with, it says, whereas Calhoun County, South Carolina, the county acting by and through its county council, we being the county, acting through our county council. And I'm confused as to how we being the county can act through our county council if they're not communicating with us. If we're not being informed, we're not in a position to make informed decisions. Titles don't create character, okay? They're not going to create character, but titles will reveal the true character in people. And you get a chance to see who people really are on the inside, what the moral compass, where the moral compass is based on how they make decisions and how they communicate with you and how they listen to you. If I'm coming to you and sharing with you my concerns and you let me know up front, well, you can say it, but it's really not going to change my mind, then are you really hearing me? Are you really taking my concerns into consideration? 2 seconds? Okay, let's come out of our silos. I hear Republicans, Democrats. My signs are purple. I'm a registered Democrat, but my signs are purple. Let's come out of our silos. Let's get together and make decisions that's going to help our community.
Ronald Johnson. Fire up. Ready to go. How's everybody? My name is Ronald Johnson. I'm a pastor, Charlotte Missionary Baptist Church in St. Matthew. I'm a retired deputy sheriff for Operation County, started in St. Matthew Police Department, and then I'm retired for Operation County. The reason why I want to county council one, because I want to be bipartisan. So I say Republican, Democrat, we got to get along. And the Bible said that when the righteous are in charge, the people rejoice. But when the wicked in charge, they mourn. Also, the Bible said that the race is not given to the swift, nor the strong, but the one who deals to the end. I ran 2 years and a half ago. Guess what? I lost. But I'm not a quitter. All right. I'm going to keep running for this one until I get it. I'm 90 years old. That's all right, bro. My platform. I'm a lifelong time resident of Calhoun County. Went to school in Calhoun County High School, St. John, Canada. And now I'm there. I'm going to work with all people. Dedicate to all people. I want to seek approval from the neighborhood. That's why so many kids are going to jail, getting locked up. They got nothing to do.
We gotta find something for the kids to do. Am I right? And you know one thing? You got a lot of politicians. I'm a pastor, so I'm not a politician, but I'm a pastor. But I'm gonna tell the truth. You got a lot of politicians don't see you until election time comes. After getting the chair, you don't see him no more. But I promise you, if you let Ronald L. Johnson, you can call me 24/7. But don't call no side in the pulpit, I got to preach. But I've been dialogue with the Sheriff Department, EMS, Fire Department, I do support education and job creation. But like I said before, I really do black, white, paint, green, I don't see no color. Okay, I don't see no color. Now, like I said, if y'all don't vote for me, I'm still going to love you. Because you can't make it in heaven if you don't love you. You want to know. So I love black, white, pink, green. God bless you.
Can we take them off right now? Okay, Kurt Rosa. That was all right. Oh, did I miss somebody?
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
So we're gonna add 2 more people on after me. Is that all right? Okay. I know it's been carrying on for a little bit, but I live right here in Lone Star. I'm Richard's next door neighbor. So I live right here in Lone Star. My wife is from she graduated from Calhoun County. I can't thank my wife enough because she's forever yelling at me about something.
We got the same one.
I'm forever getting her into something. She's like, Lord, no, do you ever say no to anything? No, probably not. There's probably not a person, right, that I won't help. You know, we're in a tractor club. We cook the 1st and 3rd Saturdays of every month. You know, I love that tractor club. All the money that we get goes back out to the community. We don't keep anything other than pay the electric and taxes. At the end of the year, we have a giant benefit pool. And all the money that we raise, we go to Terreyville, to the orphanage for the older kids, and give them gift cards. I don't remember what last year's was, but the year before, I think we gave every kid a $250 gift card. So I donate a lot of my time to doing lots of stuff. If you know me, and if I've ever worked for you, you know my work ethic is above and beyond. Quit is not in my vocabulary, and never will be. It was interesting that as we get down here to the very end, there was a couple things that I didn't hear, and then all of a sudden, suddenly, somebody mentioned one of them. And that was one of my pet peeves. The only time I feel like candidates care about you is right before election. And I am not a politician. I've been knocking on a ton of doors, and I have 2 questions I ask. How do you vote? Are you running a straight ticket? And most people are like, yeah. Or are you voting by a name? And that's the other one I get. You see all those signs out there, you have no idea who those people are. You'll hear say, oh, you know, so-and-so said this person, oh yeah, that's a good person, so yeah, you go back to the poll and that's what you vote. That's not how it should be. If you're out here, and the reason why you're out here is because you really want to know who these candidates are, and are these candidates going to represent your voice? And finally, I heard one other candidate finally say that he wanted to be known to you long after he got into office, if he gets into office. Well, we're going to raise that bar. And I want to continue, if I get elected, I want to continue to have monthly meetings with all my constituents. And I'll give you my cell number. My goal was to try to knock on every door in County District 1. It probably won't happen before the June 11th primary, but not for lack of trying. And again, we can reach across to everybody. And your opinion matters. Your opinion matters. Just like one of the other candidates said, your voice, color, race, doesn't matter. But you have an opinion. And too many of these candidates aren't listening to you. Are they in office listening to you? Right now, we have a council that is not listening to nobody in Calhoun County. And I think it's time for a change. It's time for a whole new outlook. And, all right, I got 10 seconds. So, I just want to, again, thank everybody that comes out here. Again, take time to talk to some of these candidates and talk to us after, everything's said and done. And again, I will personally give anybody my number. You can call me 24/7. And I want to have a meeting, and I want to know if I'm doing a good job if I get elected. If I'm not, then we need to rethink this.
What are you running for?
County Council, District 1.
County Council.
Yep. And, y'all, everybody come up here. All these candidates that didn't, we're going to have 2 other people talk. Felicia, Lakeisha, everybody come up here. Leon, Jerry, Carter, Jeff, Harold, Richard, Krista. Look, we're all here together, and we're all, Chris, thank you, and we're all going to walk out of here as friends and neighbors. Come on in, everybody. So, Alicia.
I'm sorry.
Just say thank you to everybody. We want to thank everybody. And we're going to let 2 other people say a quick word after this, but this is everybody right here for Senate, House, County Council, Treasurer, and Clerk of Court. So thank you very much. Appreciate everybody's time. Paul, appreciate it. Yes, sir. Awesome.
Okay. Party time. Now the party starts. Go team!
You got Lady and John.
No, you go first.
John.
No, I'll back clean up. Go ahead, Don. Go ahead, Don.
Yeah, this is County Council, District 2. Heidi Carson.
He's calling you, Heidi.
Go ahead, John.
Ladies first.
No. Alphabetical order.
That's the only reason I'll really live. You got a fighter on your hands here. Hey guys, my name is Heidi Franklin. I'm happy to be here. Big crowd. Good to see everybody. So I am the Republican nominee for Calhoun County Council District 2. So I'm not in the primary in June, but I'll be on the ballot in November, and I'm excited about that. I'm not a politician either, so I think that's the going trend these days. I think, you get a nudge from God. I've been trying not to run. I say this when I speak to people because it's the truth. I've been trying not to run and kind of have my fingers in my ears, and God's been going, what are you doing? So I'm running. I'm excited about it because I think it's a time for a change. So a little bit about me. I grew up in Columbia until the 10th grade. My mom married a farmer from Ellery, so some of you folks might have known Dan and Maggie Etheridge. Those are my mom and stepdad. So I got the shock of my life in 10th grade, coming from Greer to Calhoun Academy. But it taught me something. It taught me that small towns where I wanted to raise my children. So I went to college and came back when my daughter was 5 weeks old. So grew up my children in St. Matthews. My kids are 31 and 26, both married. We have 3 grandchildren. I've enjoyed an excellent career. I work as a corporate paralegal at Blanchard Machinery Company, the cat dealership in Columbia, West Columbia. So I kind of know Robert's Rules of Order and how the decorum of council should be run, and I think that's one of the things that we're lacking, but that's another story. So again, my husband is Danny Kirkland. He is career law enforcement. He used to serve here. A lot of y'all probably know him. He was with Richland County Sheriff's Department as well as Orangeburg and Calhoun County, but he currently works with the South Carolina Attorney General's office. So Blue Lives Matter. I believe in strong law enforcement as well. So why am I running? It's a loaded question. I'm mainly running because I feel like that is God's plan for my life, and that's obedience for me as I take my steps in this. I think that the outcome, is going to be ordered by Him, and I'm just trusting that His plan is perfect for that. But I'll be honest, I've been unhappy with some of the things that have been going on the past few years, and I think it's time for normal people like me and so many other people who
are saying, here I am, Lord, send me. Send me. Let me do this. I'm not afraid to ask the hard questions. I'm not afraid to say no. I'm not afraid to say, well, just because we've done that all these many years doesn't mean we have to still keep doing it. So I'm excited to have the opportunity to serve not just District 2, but the entire county. And I'm excited to be here. So thank y'all so much. I would just ask that all of us candidates in your prayers, because Satan's busy.
John Wright.
I think all I can do is pass the hat after that. Wow, no, seriously, good job. I'm John Wright. I grew up in Orangeburg. I've been in Calhoun County over 30 years. I'm married to Linda Rickenbacker, and I told Mr. Ellis I needed some notes. His wife said she asked his opinion, and I've never had that option. So. Anyway, I came to Calhoun County to be the tax assessor. I was here almost 10 years as a tax assessor. Married Linda here. I made a lot of friends here. I stayed here. Been in private enterprise since. I'm running because I think that Calhoun County needs people with a mixed background who have government experience, who know how to work with people, and also business experience. They know how things are supposed to run, fiscal responsibility, you got to pay the bills, and we need to make decisions now for the generations to come. We don't need to make these quick decisions, oh, it gives us more money to spend today. We need to make things fiscally responsible, environmentally friendly, and to the benefit of everybody and our grandchildren. Because my kids are going to come back here, they're grown, but they're coming back here. They're going to raise their kids here. My great nieces and nephews are here. I don't have grandchildren yet, but I'm hoping. Got granddogs, they're cool. And I'm babysitting one this weekend, half Great Dane and half German Shorthair. He's 6 weeks and about that high, so, he's one of the other 3 dogs put together. It's okay, I'm working. I'd like your support. I'm available, everybody knows me. My cell phone number is on my Facebook page. Call me, text me, answer any of your questions. Just appreciate the opportunity to be here, and thank you very much.
I've got one more.
She's a bear.
I'm not running for anything. It feels really good. I
didn't want to leave anybody out. Politics above.
Even my neighbors. I just want to say hi to everybody. My name is Helen Carson. I'm a resident of St. Matthews. I live right on the main street. Those are my neighbors over there. And it just refreshed my memory a whole lot tonight when I saw all these candidates getting up here and they're saying all these wonderful things to you all that they're promising they're going to do and all of that. And I just want to advise them all that, they're all really good and we have all those good aspirations. I served on county council for 16 years before I vied for the mayor at the advice of some people over here. Sometimes I want to knock them down. But I've served now for almost 9 years as the mayor, and I can say that, it's so satisfying to me when we make decisions and do things that is in the best interest of the people that we serve, because that's our #1 goal, is to be able to do those things that enhance other people's lives, not our own, but other people. And I make that very clear to all our city council meetings that every and anything that we do is certainly with the citizens in mind first. And I know that all of them, whoever's elected, is going to do the same thing. So Godspeed to all of them. I wish them all well. And I'm just so happy I'm not running for anything.